Hi, everybody. I'm Wayne Larrivee. Thank you for joining us for the Packers 2024 Draft Party presented by Miller Lite. Great to have you all with us. We've got a great program for you tonight. We're going to get to it in just a minute. But you know, the Packers may have to wait until they're on the clock to make great picks this weekend. But thanks to PackersProShop.com, the draft sale going on right now, well, you can make them all weekend long starting today, Wednesday, April 24th through Sunday, April 28th. You could just take 25% off new Packers gear with code DRAFT. Choose from hats, tees, home decor, and more. Get your picks in before the clock runs out. Scan the QR code on your screen right now for details. We have a great program, as I mentioned. We're going to be hearing from Packers President and CEO Mark Murphy, Packers players Jayden Reed, Tucker Kraft, and Colby Wooden, all coming up here tonight on the eve of the NFL Draft and another big NFL Draft for the Green Bay Packers, who, as we go into this draft lottery, the Packers with 11 picks, that's tied with two other teams for most picks in the draft this season. But the big key for Green Bay here, folks, 5 picks in the top 100 in the first 3 rounds of the draft. It's going to be very interesting starting tomorrow night. Packers fans, if you're a Packers Perks member, enter the promo code 04DRAFT24 on PackersPerks.com and receive 2,000 Perks points for watching tonight's program. Well, we mentioned the draft begins tomorrow night, 7 o'clock Central Time from downtown Detroit, Michigan. Next year, we'll be on the clock with the draft coming up here in Green Bay. We'll have more on that coming up. But as I mentioned, the Packers have good picks in the top 100. This is a strong drafted wide receiver, offensive tackle, quarterback, and cornerback. Those 3 positions are probably going to dominate the first night of the draft. And of course, the Packers have pick number 25 in the first round. Now, as we get set for the draft, on the eve of the draft, let's welcome in the president, CEO of the Green Bay Packers, Mark Murphy. Mark, thanks for being with us here tonight.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you, Wayne.
You know, the draft, it's important every year. It's the lifeblood of NFL teams coming into the draft this year. Could you maybe take us inside the draft room a little bit? What's it like in there with everybody gathered and waiting anxiously for the pick to be unveiled?
No, well, kind of like you. I mean, when I was a player, I always wondered, what's it like in the draft room? But it's really fun to be in there. It's exciting. I mean, my role is really, just observing and supporting. But to see the work that Brian and all the personnel staff do year long come together in 3 days, it's pretty amazing. And we have a brand new draft room this year that they'll be in. The technology is phenomenal, and it's really a fascinating process to see. And of course, at the league level, it's become a major event for the league. It's and of course, we'll see it firsthand next year. And
right.
Probably have about 250,000 people descend on Green Bay over the 3 days of the draft. It'll be something.
Somebody asked me today, have plans been finalized for where some of these activities going to take place?
Well, it's a league event, so they make all the decisions, but they're really focused on Detroit. And then once we get through this weekend, they'll start making decisions. For instance, where will the actual stage of the draft be held? Right. Kind of some of the logistical things. But we've had, over the last month, we've had probably up to 30 of our employees have gone out to Detroit. A number of them are now in Detroit for
right.
the actual draft. And our concessionaires, Delaware North, and others are going as well, because it's a major undertaking. And but it's exciting. I'm really, for the community, this is something we've been lobbying and petitioning the league for about a 5-year period, and weren't really sure it would ever happen because of the size of Green Bay, and particularly the number of hotel rooms, the lack of hotel rooms that we have compared to other communities. But I think I gave the league. I think to give the league credit. I think they looked at it and kind of the history and tradition of the Packers. Lambeau Field was instrumental. And quite honestly, I think Titletown too.
Yeah.
And so, but obviously, people are going to be staying, all up and down, between Milwaukee, Madison, Oshkosh, Appleton. It'll be really a statewide event.
Yeah, it really will. Kind of like,
Yeah.
when the big golf tournaments came to Kohler,
Yeah,
people were
people
staying
are-
all over the
yeah.
state for those tournaments. When you look back at this past season, Mark, you and I haven't had a chance to talk since the season ended, but that Packers team, and I think it was one of the better coaching jobs I've seen in 46 years in the league. This is the youngest football team in the league.
Yeah.
I've never seen a receiving core as young as that one. And now you put a first-year
new
quarterback
quarterback, yeah.
in there, first-year starting quarterback, and you lose 4 in a row. You go 40-some days without a win. And I've seen so many situations in my career, Mark, where teams went the wrong way.
Coach loses them. Yeah.
That team didn't.
Yeah.
And I thought that Matt and his staff,
Yeah.
and you've got to give the players credit, they never lost faith because they just kept going at it. They didn't know how to go the opposite direction because they'd never been in any direction.
Yeah.
They were that young. And I think that really helped them. By the end of the year, they were playing as well as anyone. And that quarterback was playing really well. You mentioned it would take at least a year before we knew what kind of quarterback Jordan Love was. What was your impression?
He's a darn good quarterback.
Yeah.
No, he's still young, and but I think the future is really bright. And I echo what you said. I thought this was Matt's best job. Obviously, when you had somebody like Aaron Rodgers, I think people tend to look past the kind of coaching job that you do. But for this, I think we were the youngest team since the AFL-NFL merger to make the playoffs. Right. And I agree with you. I mean, we were playing at the end of the year. We could have won the Super Bowl, and we should have beaten the 49ers. Yeah. We had beaten Detroit on Thanksgiving Day, and then we beat Kansas City. So it was all. But hopefully, I do think it's the kind of thing where the team will learn from that experience. Yeah. And Wayne, every year stands on its own. You can't just say, "Oh, well, we were really close last year."
No, it doesn't happen that way. And that's hard for us who have never been in the game. You played. Yeah. Firsthand that every year is different. It doesn't matter what you did the year before because it's a different team the next year. And I don't mean just changes of personnel, folks, but I'm talking about everybody's different. I mean, we're all different year to year. We don't realize it, but we are. And so it's hard to do. But expectations now, and the quarterback. I was talking to one of our scouts before the San Francisco game, the playoff game, and I said, "Geez, Jordan has just been great." And I wonder what the future will be for him. And he said, we have a lot of confidence in this kid because of the character aspect of it. And it's not like he's going to stop working. You know what I mean?
And
they
I
really
don't
feel
think,
good about that.
I don't think the success is going to change him either.
I don't either.
And the players, and you saw that really over the last 2 or 3 years. Many years in the offseason, Aaron wasn't around, and Jordan really was working with the team, and players really respect him, and you saw that as the season went on. He got more and more confident, and I'm really proud of him, the way he handled things, and I really think the future is really bright for him.
Well, his first 3 years in the league, it wasn't easy from an outside standpoint.
No, and we did the same thing with Aaron, and that's very rare across the league. And you see it a lot, Wayne, that quarterbacks play before they're ready, and they lose confidence in their shot. And I think what we did with both Aaron and hopefully Jordan will have a similar career. That when they finally got the chance to play, they were ready, and having sat and watched, and really makes a huge difference.
It does. It really does. So this season coming up, Packers going to Brazil, going to open up in Brazil.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, no, we're excited about it. And I think we've talked about it. It's a huge priority for the league to grow the game internationally. This will be the first NFL game ever played in Brazil, and we're really honored to be selected. We're looking forward to it. I think it's Eagles Packers is a pretty good matchup. It'll be the Friday night of opening weekend.
Right.
It'll be the first time since 1950 that the NFL has played on a Friday night. So normally that's kind of reserved for high school, but early in the season, you can play then. It's There's some logistical things. We're not really sure exactly kind of the travel aspects of things, but we're working with the league on that. It's a 12-hour flight from Green Bay.
A little longer than the London flight, right? Yeah. And the other thing, of course, I'd rather play the Eagles anywhere but Philadelphia.
Oh yeah, no,
Even if you have to go to Brazil.
They aren't going to have their Philadelphia fans there. Well, and the other thing, I've heard that we're the most popular team in Brazil.
Okay.
It's either one or two. Patriots are pretty popular, but yeah, no, I think I've heard from a lot of fans that they're traveling down, but also I've heard from a number of fans in Brazil that they're really excited and looking forward to it.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. Mark, thank you so much for stopping by the draft party. Appreciate it very much.
All right, thank you,
All
Wayne.
the best, man.
Yeah.
Have a good off season, and of course, draft is coming up tomorrow, and then soon we'll be into mini camps, and it starts. Exactly.
It's an important weekend for us.
It really is.
We're positioned where we can really help ourselves.
Good luck.
Yeah,
Good
thanks.
luck. Packers fans, if you're a Packers Perks member, enter the promo code 04DRAFT24 on PackersPerks.com. Receive 2,000 Perks points for watching tonight's program. Special thanks also to Miller Lite for sponsoring tonight's show. The NFL Draft, an exciting time of hope, building your roster, welcoming the newest members of the team. And now, thanks to PackersProShop.com draft sale, you can share the exciting times. Build your collection of great Packers gear in your home and closet with hats, tees, home decor, and more. With 25% off, every pick will be a winner for you. That's 25% off at PackersProShop.com with code 24DRAFT. It's time to make your picks. Scan the QR code on the screen for details. And Packers fans also, let's have some fun here tonight. Scan the QR code shown on your screen to use your phone as a live selfie camera. Your live selfie cam could show up after this video. Scan now to be part of the party.
I have never sold my stock on a football team faster than I'm selling Green Bay. I think we're going into what the Packers were in the 80s, kind of irrelevant.
Welcome to mediocrity. Nobody will fear you going forward.
That's what we're about. That's what we're about. Let everybody keep doubting us.
We've been counted out since the season started. People been riding us off saying we weren't going to be good.
We got playmakers, we got the weapons. We'll be ready when time comes.
And I've talked about this since, I feel, March. They're a playoff team.
We got everything in front of us. Let's keep putting that work in.
Throw the end zone. Touchdown, Dontavian Wicks. He's hit it, sacked again. Devontae Wyatt.
If this is rebuilding, I want more of it.
The youngest team in the NFL isn't going anywhere.
Persevere throughout the course of the season, to prove a lot of people wrong.
When you prove people wrong, it's one of the best feelings in the world.
Hey folks, the Packers want to hear from you. Submit your feedback by scanning the QR code on the screen with your phone. Fill out and submit the survey for a chance to win a 2024 Packers Draft Prize Package. It includes a 2024 Packers Draft hat, t-shirt, sweatshirt, and more. Welcome back to the Draft Party. Wayne Larrivee, and we're joined now by Jayden Reed, Michigan State rookie. He led the Packers in receiving, 64 catches, 793 yards, 8 touchdowns. A year ago at this time, Jayden Reed, you were waiting to hear your name called in the NFL draft. It didn't have to wait that long. You got round 2, but tell me about your experience. What was that like?
Man, it was a really long process. It just took a lot of patience and just locking in during that time, and it was great. It was worth the wait. So I'm blessed to be here today.
When going into the draft, I mean, did you get much contact from the Packers? Did you have a feeling that maybe you'd get drafted by Green Bay?
Honestly, I talked to the Packers for the first time. I want to say to a coach or anybody like that was probably a week before the draft. So before that, I went to the Senior Bowl. I think I talked to some scouts and stuff like that. But my first time actually talking to coaches was a week before I got drafted.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you didn't have you didn't have an idea of where you might go, right?
No, I really had no idea, to be honest. So that was definitely surprising, getting that call from the Packers.
Yeah, and you grew up in Naperville, Illinois, not that far from Green Bay. So
no doubt.
I imagine your family's had a chance to see you play quite a bit, huh?
Oh yeah, they got to see me play a lot. 3-hour drive, it's easy to get there and back. So that's the blessing about being here in Green Bay as well. I get to get my family up here to watch me play.
Now, but you weren't a Bears fan as a kid, were you?
I'm not going to say that.
Well,
no comment.
We all have a past, right?
No doubt.
Yes. Hey, when you got here, you joined a receiving corps. Mark Murphy and I talked about it in the last segment. Youngest receiving corps I've ever seen, okay?
No doubt.
Your veterans were second-year players in this receiving corps. What was that like?
They did a great job, just bringing us in, helping us learn the playbook, and just treating us as brothers. We clicked really well quick, and, the chemistry built pretty fast, and, that showed towards the end of the season.
And Jordan Love, first-year quarterback. Tell me about that process.
Man, he's very poised. I never see anybody as poised as Jordan. He does a great job also, just keeping all the guys together, no matter the situation we're in. When we're facing adversity, he does a great job just keeping the guys together and, making us go forward.
There were growing pains. I mean, that first half of the season, you guys had lost 4 in a row, went over a month without winning a game. And, I've been around the NFL long enough to see teams like that take a nosedive the wrong direction.
Yep.
You guys didn't. What were the factors involved with turning around your season and making a playoff run?
Just the leaders in the locker room, man. There was a lot of great leaders in the locker room that kept us together. I think we had a great bond as a team. We found ways to get together outside the building, whether it's going to J Love house, he get the chef to come over, or I get the chef to come to my house and the guys come over. I think a lot of that has to do with on the field as well.
I think you're right. That chemistry is,
no doubt,
it's fragile, and not every team has it, does it?
No, I don't think so. From what I've heard around the league, everybody's not as close,
Playing in Green Bay, it's football. Let's be honest, it's football, and you don't have a lot of distractions here.
Oh, yeah.
Does that help build a team?
I actually love being here. You save a lot of money. It's no distraction. It's literally your job. It's ball and go home and, do whatever you like to do at home, whether it's play the game or whatever. But other than that, man, it's ball and, Lambeau. That's it.
I know you have a lot of confidence. You always did in your game and in yourself. Did your numbers surprise you last year? I mean, to lead this team and receiving the way you did?
Really, I got a higher standard for myself. Really, I don't even think I did, I even scratched the surface, really. And, with the guys in the room as well, I just have a higher expectations for everybody in the room.
So now that you've been here a year, what's this offseason looking like? I mean, will you guys do some more stuff with Jordan out on the West Coast, or what are you thinking?
Yeah, definitely. We'll definitely get back with Jordan again like we did last year. We did it. Actually, I got with Jordan during the offseason as well. So, that continues to build a chemistry. So, we got to keep that going and, make sure we're staying on the same page.
Expectations now, okay? You had an unexpectedly good year. People weren't counting on the Packers being a playoff force, and you guys go in and that big win in Dallas. Before I get to that question, the win in Dallas, what was that like for you guys as a team?
Man, it was really surreal, man. We had a lot of doubters going into that game. I'm sure it was a lot of doubters doubting us that game, but, we showed what we can do. We went out there and played with all our heart, and, you know, we exceeded expectation.
And then the San Francisco game, great account in
No
that
doubt.
game.
Yeah, in that situation as well, we played hard to the very end, but, you know, we just got to find a way to finish in games like that.
So, as you come into this season, now we've got expectations, okay?
No doubt.
Now you got expectations. Do you look forward to that? Do you relish those expectations?
Of course, you got to accept any kind of challenge, you know, in life, you know. You got to take it and, you know, take it with confidence and, you know, attack it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I imagine you're looking forward to the challenge.
Oh, yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Well, listen, Jaden, continued success. I know you're off on the off-season program underway.
Yes, sir.
Things going well for you so far?
It's going great.
Yeah.
Great job.
Thanks for taking time out with us here tonight. We appreciate it.
you. I
All the
appreciate
best.
you
Best
having
of
me.
luck.
Thank you.
We'll look forward to seeing you, not just at the mini camps and everything else, but of course the season coming up. Looking forward to it.
No doubt about it.
All right. That's Jaden Reed. And Packers fans, we want to hear from you. Submit your feedback by scanning the QR code on the screen with your phone. Fill out and submit the survey for a chance to win 2024 Packers Draft Prize Package. That includes a 2024 draft hat, T-shirt, sweatshirt, and more. We'll have more of our program coming up. Another guest just ahead. Tucker Kraft is next on the Draft Party. A bootleg, left half bootleg, left now throw back the other way. He's got him wide open. Down the right side. Musgrave, end zone, touchdown. Luke Musgrave is almost always wide open, it seems like. Love looks, airs it out, down the middle, got his man, touchdown. Jaden Reed, who just broke the rookie receiving record.
I don't think that's the last Packer record he's going to break.
Screens it out left side, got his man leaping, end zone, touchdown. It is Tucker Kraft.
He just makes play after play after play. And what a boost Tucker Kraft has proven to be.
Waits and fires the middle. Down Tavian Wicks, breaks a tackle, 10 to the 5, end zone, touchdown, Green Bay Packers.
Springtime in Wisconsin, time to refresh, renew, reinvigorate, and get ready for summer. So why not let the Packers Pro Shop help you find some fresh new styles to get you ready for the warm days to come, and I promise they're coming. They have new swimwear, tees, tanks, shorts to spruce up your wardrobe and get ready for those backyard parties with a selection of outdoor games like cornhole, lawn dominoes, and ring toss. They even have grilling gear to get the cookout started. So scan the QR code on your screen right now to shop and have a green and gold summer. Special thanks tonight also to Miller Lite for sponsoring tonight's show. And Packers fans, if you're a Packers Perks member, Enter the promo code 04DRAFT24 on PackersPerks.com and receive 2,000 Perks points for watching tonight's program. Wayne Larrivee back with you on the virtual draft show here tonight. Less than 24 hours from the start of the upcoming NFL draft. Our next guest was a third-round draft choice by the Packers out of South Dakota State last spring. Tight end Tucker Kraft, 17 games, 8 starts, 31 passes, 385 yards and 2 touchdowns. Tucker, thanks for taking time out for being with us tonight. Great to have you.
Yeah, I'm excited.
You excited for the season coming up?
Oh, yeah, extremely excited for the season coming up.
You got an opportunity to play quite a bit mid-season when Luke Musgrave went down with an injury. Talk a little bit about that because, you know, everyone was wondering, is this kid ready to go? And you certainly were.
Yeah, I think about like that string of moments often. We go back, we watch the film, and I see plays from that game. And it wasn't necessarily that I took my opportunity and ran with it. I think I was prepared the whole time. I was ready for it. So when it came time, you know, I just executed.
You know, I was talking to Jaden Reed. We're part of the youngest receiving corps maybe in the history of the NFL. Your veterans were second-year players, okay? So, talk a little bit about that. And did that actually help you guys, you rookies, fit in a little bit better?
Yeah, I mean, we had to start holding each other accountable in different ways, and none of us were really used to that yet because we weren't vocal. We were young, you know. Earlier in the year, our tails were tucked between our legs, and we didn't really know what to do. But then, as you saw with the success of the season, you know, us younger guys, we kind of started to emerge, heavily relying on each other and the older guys that are in the locker room.
Yeah, you know, I mean, we're mentioning to Mark Murphy and to Jaden, there's a 4-game losing streak there, middle of the season or thereabouts. And the team could have gone the wrong way. And most teams in that situation do go the wrong way. You guys didn't. Is that some of what you just talked about? Was that the factor that kind of got you through that maturity, that from a young group, mature beyond their years to make it through?
Yeah, I especially think so because we had so many guys that were, you know, getting elevated, dropping down to the practice squad. So many guys that were, you know, going out there and really trying to play every play like it was their last, you know, leaving nothing left in the tank and really just trying to, you know, the same thing that happened to me, you know, run with their opportunities.
Sure. And you know, your quarterback also took off as well. When you guys around him started playing better, so did he.
Yep.
Talk about the leadership he provided.
Yeah, I mean, Jordan, you know, he's not going to yell in your face. He's going to motivate you with his actions. And he's a great leader in and out of the locker room, you know, because he has us over at his house and we all get to hang out, the whole offense together. And he even invites defense guys too. As far as like a social leader, lead by example, that's Jordan Love. He does a great job of that.
But in the game, under fire.
Yes.
Pretty cool customer, isn't he?
Yeah. I mean, it's just the way he kind of looks at the group, you know, when it's crunch time and we're in the huddle.
You know, your draft experience last year, I know you were back at your hometown, South Dakota, right?
Yes.
Talk a little bit about that. What did you expect going into the draft? You're out of South Dakota State. There's some good players that come out of there. But did you expect a high draft situation? What were you led to believe? Let me put it that way.
Well, I knew it was a dense class, tight ends.
Yep.
I'm, you know, coming from the FCS, we're always going to get the small school banter, and all you can do is put it on film, and that's what I did. And I knew that my career was in the hands of somebody else, because people make that excuse for you, you know, small school. I went on all the 30 visits. You know, come draft time, I thought I was in good, you know, physical condition. I'm ready to find a new home. So that whole process was, you know, full of uncertainties. I didn't know if I was going to go, you know, chance going like really, really late, round 1 to anywhere to round 3. It's just where teams have the confidence to tell you where they're graded or where you're graded, and then you kind of just work off of that.
So the Packers picked Musgrave,
yes,
and then they picked Tucker Kraft, and all of a sudden, it's like, wow, back-to-back tight ends. Did you and Luke kind of get together, or after you got drafted, did you become kind of close teammates, or
yeah,
not?
we became close teammates because we also went into a room that didn't have a ton of experience, especially so after Tyler got injured in the preseason. So it's us and Josiah, and Josiah did a tremendous job with us, you know, not just making us better players, but trying to make us better men. And so Luke and I relied heavily on each other, and then another guy that was there, you know, with us was Ben Sims too. So although he wasn't drafted, he's played a huge role in Luke's and I relationship on the field, off the field. So 3's better than 2.
You know, it's amazing, Tucker, and I think you and I talked about it at times last year in the locker room on occasion, that a team this young, a group this young, could elevate and mature as the season went along. Down the stretch, the Packers are playing as well as anybody, and it was proven in the that playoff run you guys made. You know, I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that you guys had to grow up. There was no alternative, right?
Yeah, I mean, we had nothing to lose and everything to prove. Yeah. And that was the mentality we went in every game with.
So now you have expectations. Now we're all expecting big things. As a player, do you embrace that? As a performer, do you look forward to that?
Absolutely. You get to the meeting room, you talk amongst the guys, you develop your personal goals for the year and then your team goals for the year, and how you know, the two of those things are really the same thing. Mm-hmm. And I mean, even just get chills talking about it too, but we're really excited for this year. We're thrilled.
Yeah, I would think so. The momentum you had at the end of last year, right through the San Francisco game, that's something you feel like you can carry over into another year?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it should be good. We're looking forward to watching you play. Enjoyed so much seeing you play and the way you broke out in the second half of the season. Tucker, all the best. Have a great off-season program.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us here tonight. That's Tucker Kraft, third-round draft choice of your Green Bay Packers. Hey, Packers fans, if you're a Packers Perks member, enter the promo code 04DRAFT24 on PackersPerks.com. Receive 2,000 Perks points for watching tonight's program. Special thanks again to Miller Lite for sponsoring tonight's show. The Packers Pro Shop celebrating the draft with a sale. Get 20% off your favorite green and gold gear to kick off the new season. Orders shipped directly from Lambeau Field. Scan the code on your screen for details. And Packers fans, let's also have a little fun here tonight. Scan the QR code shown on the screen to use your phone as a live selfie camera. Your live selfie cam could show up after this video. Scan now to be part of the party. Looking downfield, steps up, hit from behind, down he goes. Tackled on the play by Lucas Van Ness. Takes the snap on a deep drop. He's hit and sacked again. Oh, what a play made by Colby Wooden. Here's the snap. Looks at her, waits, and he's sacked. Carl Brooks up the A-gap. I mean, in a flash. That's fired right side. Broken up. Carrington Valentine.
Carrington Valentine backs down from nobody, including future Hall of Famers.
Snap to rip into the pocket. Wings it over the left side. It's tipped and intercepted by Anthony Johnson Jr., the rookie safety. Hey fans, the Packers want to hear from you. Submit your feedback by scanning the QR code on the screen with your phone. Fill out and submit the survey for a chance to win a 2024 Packers Draft Prize Package, including a 2024 Packers Draft Hat, T-shirt, sweatshirt, and more. Welcome back to the virtual draft party. I'm Wayne Larrivee. We're joined by the Packers' fourth-round draft choice from a season ago, defensive lineman Colby Wooden out of Auburn University. Colby was as a rookie contributed in 17 games last year and both postseason contests, and was part of a defensive rotation that was very effective up front. All right, let's get right to it. Thank you for taking time out. First off, Colby, kind of an off season have you had?
Just a busy one. I've been in the lab working, just grinding, getting stronger, faster, bigger, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, I mean, you can't rest on laurels in this league, can you?
Nah, you can't.
Tell us about your draft experience a year ago. What did you expect, and what was the weekend like?
So my weekend was cool. I had only spoke to the Packers one time, so I didn't think I was on their radar. I had spoke to them. I thought I was going to the Rams. I had spoke to them the most. And then, I got the call. I seen at the bottom of the ticker, Green Bay, Wisconsin. Yeah. So, it was just a life-changing experience. It was exciting. I was extremely happy. All the hard work I had put in, paid off, and I was glad to be a Packer.
You joined a very young football team. But on defense, there was some veteran timber there, and part of that timber was Kenny Clark.
Yeah.
Tell me about him and how much did he help you?
Kenny played a tremendous part in our growth last year. We were expected to come in and contribute. So, with that being said, we went right up under his wing and learned as much as we can. I was a sponge, soaked up the game, whether it was the hands, how to approach the game, the film work, what to look for when I'm going against my opponent. So it was just a great learning experience, and I soaked it up like a sponge.
Yeah, you really did. And people don't understand that it's different. I mean, what you guys do on Saturday in the college game and the preparation you make and all that and the effort, it's different on the pro level, isn't it?
Yes, it's definitely. It's more detailed, I'd say.
I see, yeah.
College, you can get away with certain stuff you can't get away with in the NFL.
Have you had a chance to touch base with the new defensive coordinator, Jeff Hafley?
Yeah, I love his energy. He's an energetic guy. He's all gas, no brakes, aggressive, go, which is kind of the mindset we want to play with on defense. Go attack.
So you're going to switch to a 4-3. 4-3 base, and you're not going to be in base very often anyway, but how much of an adjustment will that be for you guys on the defensive line? Do you know yet?
I don't feel it'll be an adjustment as far as we'll go from stepping to attacking. I mean, we're attacking everything now, so that's a D-lineman's dream to attack, get off the ball and go. So we're excited to, show what we can do and prove ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of new blood in the coaching staff, that type of thing. I imagine that gets your juices going.
Yeah, it definitely does. They're excited about the new scheme. We're excited about the new scheme. It's just a lot of new, like you said, new blood. So we're excited to, get out there.
All right, let's talk a little bit about your rookie season. This is a football team that, as we talked to the others that were on earlier tonight, you guys went through some ups and downs. Some of the down was pretty dark. 4 straight losses, 42 days without a win. I mean, a lot of teams go the wrong direction. What did you see from your vantage point as to why this Packers team, instead of going the wrong direction, went in exactly the opposite direction into the playoffs and made a great playoff run?
Because, honestly, we like each other. I know that sounds crazy, but us, with all us being young and us figuring out together, it just forces us, to come together and build a camaraderie. So as we're going through, like you said, our dark periods, that's when we combine closer and get, figure out who we're gonna have in our fight, in our corner. So for us, it was just a learning experiment and a learning experience, and we got through it.
Colby, you've only been in Green Bay for a year, but is playing in a small town like this, does that kind of help the chemistry of the football team in itself?
Yes, it definitely does. With Green Bay being a small town, and we're at each other's houses almost daily. So, I mean, you got to know your brother, know who you line up with, and that helps out.
What are you looking forward to improving in your game? You were mentioning you were getting bigger, faster, stronger in the offseason here. What are you looking to improve?
I'm just looking to contribute more. I want to be more of a disruptive force. I want to just be better. Last year I got, I was learning, so I was still a little timid and scared. But now this year, I'm looking to make that leap and show what I can do.
Colby, you play close to the ball, your position on the defensive line. It takes the closer to the ball you are, that takes more time to make an impact, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you definitely are in the trenches with the big boys. So last year I was a little light, so I had to get into work. I had to get in the gym and get stronger, so I could be with the big boys.
All right, how much stronger now?
I went from 278 to about 290, so.
Whoa.
We added some muscle.
Now you're talking about the good stuff. You're not talking like me on the couch eating Twinkies. You're talking about muscle. You're working out, right?
Muscle.
Oh, that's awesome. Higher expectations for this football team coming into the season. You guys as athletes, I imagine as performers, you look forward to that, right?
Yes. Like last year, seeing that we made it to the second round, and we were just figuring it out, it definitely is exciting to see what we can do that we know now that we know what we're doing or, got a solid grasp, and I'm excited to see.
Yeah, a lot of the growing pains have taken place.
Yeah.
And I imagine you guys are looking forward to, okay, now we're going to jump to here.
Yeah. That's what I'm glad we were thrown into the fire early. It definitely forced you to grow up. It was growing pains, like you said, but I'm glad we got thrown in early and we figured out what to do.
It's amazing that, you and Tucker and Jaden have all said the same thing about this football team. There was a chemistry that not every team has.
Yeah.
And, for whatever reason last year. And that's something you'll try to carry over to this year. It's not a given, never is.
Yeah.
Everything's different each year. But I imagine that was special. It had to be special, huh?
Yeah, it was definitely special. We had 13 rookies get drafted, so
yeah.
Most of the team was a good chunk of us were trying to figure it out. All of us were, I'm in Carl's room trying to learn the plays, or they're on the offensive side trying to learn their stuff. It was just good for us to figure it out together.
You and Carl Brooks kind of came on together and made plays, and we're in the regular rotation by the end of the year. But were you kind of close with him? Did he kind of help you along too?
Carl's my best friend. All the times, we would get chewed out by coach, and we would just look at each other and just breathe. That's my guy.
Well, that's great. Hey, listen, thank you so much for taking time out. Colby Wooden, great story, and we're looking forward to big things this year coming up in the NFL with the Packers. Thank you so much for taking time out with us. Hey, the pick is in. The Packers Pro Shop is the #1 stop for authentic gear you can't find anywhere else. Plus, to celebrate the draft, PackersProShop.com is kicking off the season with a sale. To learn more, scan the code on your screen right now. Special thanks to Miller Lite for sponsoring tonight's show. And Packers fans, if you're a Packers Perks member, enter the promo code 04Draft24 on PackersPerks.com. You'll get 2,000 Perks points for watching tonight's program. And Packers fans, let's have a little fun here tonight while we're at it. Scan the QR code shown on the screen right now to use your phone as a live selfie camera. Your live selfie could show up after this video. Scan now to be part of the party.
With the 18th pick, 22nd pick, the 26th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers select
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the virtual draft party. We've heard from Mark Murphy. We've heard from three players who were on this night a year ago, the night before the draft, waiting to see when their name would be called. And now we get to talk a little bit about this draft coming up tomorrow night, beginning at 7 o'clock Central Time in Detroit. And, of course, the following season, it'll be right here in Green Bay. According to many, and again, you know, when you look at the draft and everybody's talking about who's going to go where and what picks might be made, a lot of what you're hearing is what we have in the media and with what we're studying with the draft. But you have to understand that every NFL team rates a prospect differently, that every NFL team rates the draft differently than what the media happens to see. But when you look at this draft, and I talked about it a little bit earlier tonight, this is a draft that is top-heavy at several positions: quarterback, offensive tackle, and cornerback. And those positions will probably dominate the first round tomorrow night. First round tomorrow night, then rounds 2 and 3 on Friday night, and then Saturday and Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, the draft will wrap up with rounds 4 through 7. You know, some have said this is not as deep a draft. And when somebody, especially in the media, says that, the scouts salivate, because what it means is the scouts know every draft is deep if you make the right choices, if you're able to scout correctly. And the Packers feel very confident in the way they scout players. So although this draft may not be as deep as many drafts in the past, largely because we don't have as many underclassmen making themselves eligible for the draft this year. The total is 54 underclassmen in the draft this year. Some years it's up to upwards of 100 that make themselves available. That makes for a very deep draft. This draft has some great top-end talent, though, at every position, and that's what the scouts are looking forward to seeing. You know, names connected to the Packers, I'm sure you're all wondering. You've heard these names. I mean, many of us in the media have talked about him. Cooper DeJean, the cornerback out of Iowa. The thing that people talk about with him that may pique the interest of the Packers, he's a guy who is not only an excellent cornerback, he's also a punt returner who's returned a couple of punts for touchdowns. He's also a guy who could play the slot. He's a guy who could play safety. He's a jack of all trades. He has been very productive in his career at Iowa. He's a guy that many connect to the Packers. A lot of people feel like, well, the Packers may have to move up in the first round to get him. They have the ammunition to do that if they so choose. Also in the draft, we've heard, that the problem with the draft is we're going to see a run on quarterbacks. We're going to see a run on offensive tackles. You're going to see a couple of edge rushers come off early in this draft. You're going to see a couple of defensive linemen come off in this draft. That cornerback class could get pushed to the middle of the first round and into the later stages of the first round. Matter of fact, if Brian Gutekunst and his staff stay at number 25, the player on that draft board that might have a first round grade could be a cornerback. And if you're picking in the first round, you want the best player available. That player might be a cornerback. A couple of other cornerbacks who've been listed kind of, on the Packers' radar. Nate Wiggins, cornerback out of Clemson. Kool-Aid McKinstry out of Alabama. I hope they take Kool-Aid because I'd love to come up with a couple of Kool-Aid phrases for big plays that he might make for the Packers, but we'll see how it all plays out. When you look at the safeties and running backs, two areas of need maybe for the Packers. Jaden Hicks of Washington State, Tyler Nubin of Minnesota, two guys who you look at the Packers situation could fit very nicely. They might be day 2 picks. When I look at linebackers, off-the-ball linebackers, Packers could use one of those. A couple of the linebackers that are, again, linked to the Packers because they would fill a nice need. Peyton Wilson out of North Carolina State, Edgerrin Cooper out of Texas A&M. And you look at some of those players, they might be second-day picks. The Packers have 5 picks in the top 100. So they can move up in that first round, maybe to get a player they really desire. They certainly could make some moves in the second round of the draft. That's no doubt about that. If they stayed put with 5 picks in the top 100, trust me, folks, they're going to add 5 good players to this team that was on the rise at the end of last year. 11 picks overall in the draft. Packers have 2 picks, 1 pick in the 4th, 1 in the 5th, 2 more in the 6th and 7th rounds. It's going to be a busy weekend for Brian Gutekunst and company, and a lot of good talent is going to be on its way to Green Bay. So as we close tonight's draft party, I'd like to thank our presenting sponsor once again, Miller Lite. Thanks to Mark, Jaden, Tucker, and Colby for taking time out to join us on tonight, and we thank you for joining us as well. Please tune in to the first round of the 2024 draft on ESPN and NFL Network at 7 p.m. Central Time tomorrow. Also, make sure you've got cued in to your stuff, Packers.com, YouTube, and the Packers social channels for live updates throughout the draft, as well as all the latest news and information, all on the Packers draft picks, all on the Packers social media outlets. And as we always say, you know, if you're out and about, especially if you're in the Milwaukee area, tune into iHeartRadio, because with our flagship station, 97.3 The Game, we'll have live coverage of the draft starting tomorrow at 5:30 in the afternoon, taking it to 10 o'clock. Same thing on Thursday, and then finishing up the draft on Saturday. So if you're out and about, you want to listen in, the iHeartRadio app, or if you're in Milwaukee, 97.3 The Game. That'll do it for us here tonight. Special thanks to all of you and to our guests and all of you for listening and watching the Packers virtual draft party. Look forward to the draft, folks, and the upcoming season. Take care and good night.